Not start by cutting your wireless bill in half right now with Pure Talk's Saver plan. It's easy. You'll get unlimited talk, text, and 3 gigs of high-speed data on a super-fast nationwide 5G network for just $20 a month. Just dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Ho, ho, ho. And if you're active or former military or a first responder, you'll save an additional 20% every single month. That's pound 250. Say Mike Rowe for the gift that keeps on saving from America's wireless company. Pure.
Convenience just got an upgrade. Farmers State Bank of Oakley is excited to announce the opening of our brand new ATM along Highway 40, right next to Sonic Drive-In. Whether you're grabbing a snack or on the go, you can quickly access your cash without the detour. It's banking made easy, right where you need it. Farmers State Bank of Oakley, member FDIC.
With NWKS Radio News, I'm Connor Schuh. Kansas lawmakers are considering a new bill, SB 324, that would ban the use of cell phones in school and construction zones. The Travel Association, AAA, has asked state lawmakers to put the force of law behind it as Kansas came out of 2025 with the third largest number of distracted drivers in the calendar year. In 2024, Kansas was the second worst state when it came to distracted driving, tallying an unfortunate 110 deaths tied to distracted driving in the year. Lawmakers have considered similar bills to SB 324 in previous years, but none have made it all the way into law. There's also a new Colby City ordinance coming into effect February 1st, moving water usage rates into a tiered rate structure after Ordinance 1703 was approved at a previous city council meeting. For these and other stories, go to nwksradio.net.
Today, sunny skies and southwesterly downsloping winds at 15 to 25, gusts to 35 miles per hour will lead to warmer highs in the mid-50s. And after sunset, a cold front will cause winds to shift to the north with gusts 25 to 35 miles per hour, and overnight lows will drop into the upper teens. Tomorrow, despite the cold front, temperatures will remain mild, a few degrees cooler around 50. Southwesterly winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour turn to the north-northeast at 5 to 10. Overnight, as lows drop further into the lower teens. Thursday, increase in clouds. Arctic air starts draining into the area with east-northeasterly winds at 5 to 15 miles per hour. Highs will be 35 to 40, and overnight lows fall into the single digits. Friday and Saturday, a low pressure will move through the southern plains. High in the teens and 20s, lows a few degrees above or below zero, and wind chills 10 to 20 below. This meteorologist Chris Romick in the NWKS Radio Weather Center.
Looking for insurance that actually puts you first? At the insurance agency in downtown Goodland, we're independent, which means we work for you. Whether it's auto, home, crop, or business, we shop top carriers to get you the best coverage at the best price. No pushy sales, just honest advice from people who live right here in your community. Give us a call today at 785-899-5011 or stop by 1020 Main in Goodland and let's get you covered. The Insurance Agency. Insurance the way it should be.
Are pests making your home or business uncomfortable? Call Pestaway in Goodland, Kansas, serving all of Northwest Kansas. They provide top-notch pest control services to keep your space safe and pest-free. From ants to rodents, termites to spiders, our expert team is here to help with effective, safe, and affordable pest control solutions. Don't wait. Call Pestaway today at 785-728-7166 for fast, reliable service. Your home or business deserves the best protection.
If you're shopping for a banking institution, visit with Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, and Quinter, Kansas. The Equity Bank is heavily invested in local business and activities contributing in many ways back to their community. Their employees are involved with many organizations and area events. Plus, a lot of experience comes with that staff. You'll find valuable local assistance when you bank at the Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, Quinter, and other locations in Western Kansas. The Equity Bank, member FDIC.
At Ray Community District Hospital and Clinic, they believe in promoting healthier living through compassionate quality care. From state-of-the-art maternity care to life-saving emergency services, their dedicated team is there for you and your family. Whether it's managing diabetes, navigating recovery, or receiving specialized treatments, they're committed to your well-being. Discover the difference a community-focused hospital can make. Visit rayhospital.org today to learn more. Ray Community District Hospital and Clinic. Your health, our priority.
This corn growing season, the pressure is on. You've got to work smarter, not harder. So turn to TrivaPro. As the hardest working, longest lasting corn fungicide, TrivaPro works overtime to protect plant health and your potential yield, even in fields with low disease pressure. When you need your inputs to go above and beyond, choose TrivaPro fungicide for disease control you can take to the bank. Ask your retailer for TrivaPro today. Always read and follow label instructions.
H&R Block has many options to make filing your taxes easy. Our tax pros can help you get your max refund with drop off. Or a tax pro can even do your taxes virtually. Send some pics from your phone without leaving home. Just another way Block has your back.
All tax situations are different. Not everyone gets a refund.
Hi, this is Ashley from your locally owned H&R Block. We'll get you every dollar you deserve, with or without the office visit.
We understand that change can be hard. If you're still holding on to your old flip phone, we might just have the deal for you. At Nextech Wireless, you can get the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 7 on us. With its convenient and pocketable design, this phone transforms into what you need when you need it. Nextech Wireless, celebrating 20 years of connecting Kansans.
You ready? One, two, three, four!
It's time for the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer.
If you want to win in football, it all starts up front. Mass kicks ass.
And Connor Schuh.
He's the new guy.
The High Plains only local sports talk show. Broadcasting live on Goodland's Rocket 102.5 and video streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
They're basically idiots.
Covering it all from the preps.
Up ahead to Blair Lennon. Lennon, the crossover, back to Cure. Hello, boom! A two-handed tomahawk flush.
To the pros.
Shotgun snap to Nix. Protection is good. Bolden loads it up. He's got it. A receiver there. Franklin makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Denver.
The Blitz is presented by Pearl Chevrolet GMC, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware, and F&B Bank. Along with
Equity Bank of Hoxie, Quinter, and Grinnell, the Insurance Agency, Pestaway LLC, Topside Portables and Pumping, and the Farmer State Bank in Oakley.
Let's go to work.
Libby Cure left all alone, goes back to Bierman, top of the key, triple hits.
Got it.
Season high 14 points for Hope Bierman now, and her second three of the night. They find Mole, left wing, Saucedo, corner pocket three. Yes! Tied at 63. Mole drives. Picks it back up top. Collett trailing three. Yes!
They do snap it. He takes off running on a design quarterback draw. He has the first down. He spins into the end zone. What a play by Mendoza. And what a call.
Here's the snapback. Beck looks, throws it down the field, and it is intercepted by Indiana. Wow, what a play. And it is Jamari Sharp who comes up with a pick.
Can you imagine being, I forget the name of the gentleman, the radio voice of the Indiana Hoosiers? Can you imagine being him? I mean, the guy, the guy's in his 70s, I would say. Sorry, I'll have to look it up. Or Connor, you can do that. Who's the radio voice of Indiana football and basketball? Anyway, he's, and this is not a bash. I've got respect for guys like this. I don't know how they do it. It's because they have a lot of helpers, but he is an old school radio guy. He wears the headsets, and he's got the microphone, the separate microphone he holds with both hands as he broadcasts.
That's incredible. And that checks out because he's been doing it since 1973 for Indiana.
And his name is?
Don Fisher.
Donnie Fisher. Thank you very much, Connor Schuh. But Don Fisher, can you imagine him last night calling a national champion? I probably never thought he'd ever be in this situation. But then to go out there and to have not only his team that he's followed since 1973, but to go and win a national championship after being the program with the most losses in college football history.
It's incredible. And after the game finished and they were doing the post-game show, they showed a clip from inside the booth of him calling that game-winning pick.
Yes.
And you could just see that smile creep across his face, and you couldn't help but just feel good for the guy. He seemed so happy. And I mean, so many people very deserving of seeing that national championship happen, but him, one of the biggest ones. I mean, for being there for so long and sticking it out for over 50 years of futility. And then he gets to see that finally. That's so awesome.
Now it hasn't been all negativity in Indiana. I mean, he was there in 73, so he covered the great years of Indiana basketball. And that's what he's probably known for. Don Fisher's known for covering great Indiana basketball teams. But football has been, the stinky sock, in the laundry, in the drawer. And all of a sudden in the last 2 years, they've gone 26-2 and have captured a national championship, which is just unbelievable.
Ross, I've got a question for you. When is the last time Indiana football won double-digit games before last year?
Let's see. 1964.
The answer is never.
Never.
Never. These past 2 years, the first 2 times they've ever won double digits, they've had some 9-win seasons here and there, but never 10 plus.
You know what's amazing is another fun fact about Indiana football is that they had won one bowl game prior to this year. One.
That's incredible.
In their entire history, they had won one bowl game.
Wow.
Just absolutely nuts. Indiana national champs last night. It's 27-21. What a ball game from the highlights that I got to witness and saw. I'm sure Connor Schuh watched more of it in its entirety.
I did.
I had my own classic I was watching last night. We'll get to more on that in just a matter of moments. But yeah, it was what a game. What a ball game that was between Indiana and Miami. The physicality. Gosh, I love good physical football, and there was plenty of it. Some of it might have been a little after the whistle. Some of it might have been a little
at times,
questionable. And Signetti brought that up multiple times in the post-game pressers. He goes, I love a good physical football game, but once the whistle stops, we got once we get to a certain point, we got to stop it. And
it's not wrong.
It was an interesting game, and that game played out about exactly as I thought it would. In the sense that I'm not saying, I think I predicted them to cover the spread. And I don't know if they did that or not. I think
they did.
Covered the spread. I figured it would be physical. I figured Miami would try to impose its will physically. I think they did that, but I knew Indiana would match. I figured Indiana would match that physicality. And my biggest thing was Indiana's going to make a mistake here or there, and it's going to cost them. A missed field goal before half. A blocked punt in there as well. That was a touchdown, a special teams TD for Indiana. And right there, you knew it was done because you don't make mistakes against Indiana and Kurt Signetti this year because they don't make them and they bury you.
Yeah. Well, they made a mistake pretty late that I thought might have cost them when they had that false start penalty in the red zone. And I think it was their final drive when they were, they could have scored a touchdown to make it a 2-score game, but they had to settle for a field goal and made it a 6-point game instead. And I was a little scared because Carson Beckett I thought he looked good last night. He had
time to throw. He had a lot of time to throw last night.
They have a very good O-line. Francis, I think it's Maioga, their right tackle, is very good, and I think he's going to be a top 5 draft pick, and all the other guys supporting him well. But he made a bad read at the end, and it was a ball game right there. I mean, that was perfect from that. I think it was Jamari Sharp undercut that route and just made the play of the season. I mean, that's all you needed right there. Just that one big play.
Was that the play of the season or was it the Mendoza run? Because that thing was.
It was the Mendoza run.
And the picture of him stretching across the goal line with the football above his head. Hang that in the Louvre, as they would say. I mean,
that was
thing
incredible.
Is epic.
Like I was surprised to see him run it up the gut immediately. I'm like, they're running QB draw, and then he just goes. It was blocked perfectly. He got the first, and he just kept chugging. And man, seeing him dive across the goal line was just incredible. That's one of the craziest sports moments I've seen in recent time, because that really felt like it put a cap on it. Even with the false start later on, like you said, it did feel like that's when they won the game because they took a 2-score lead. At that point, it was 24-14, and saw how fired up he was. And it's like at that point you saw he was going to do anything in his power to get his team that win. I mean, he is a tough SOB. Like that was just
that play right there on the
incredible.
video stream where he got popped on a quarterback fake right in the chin. Woo.
He got hit a lot.
He did. You know what? He took it and still kept on smiling. As Fernando Mendoza does. Finished 16-27, 186 last night. And then you had 131 yards rushing. I mean, it was 45 carries for 131. That's less than 3 yards a carry. But Cignetti said, I don't care. We're going to run the ball. I love coaches that say that. And guess what? By the time the game kind of got going on, you could just see they were wearing down Miami.
Oh, yeah.
Went along. Miami had the same thought, too. Mark Fletcher ran for 112 and 2 touchdowns.
He had a great game.
He was great. I love physical football. I think it was great. Didn't have an old school feel to it with the running of the football and that kind of thing, and not a ton of passing.
It really did, because Fernando Mendoza, he had a great game, but he didn't even throw a touchdown. Like, he didn't need to. And the only thing I was a little scared during the game because Elijah Surratt was he was having a rough go of it. There was a play that I thought could have really changed things. I think it was like the second quarter. He juggled a pass in the flat, or not in the flat, but it was on a curl route, and it just hit him right in the hands, and it popped out of his hands, and he juggled it a little bit, and it almost got picked off. And I can't imagine how different the game would have been if that got picked off. But like you said, yeah, super physical game. The running backs for Indiana, too, shout out to them, Kalen Black and Roman Hembry, especially Kalen Black. It felt like Miami never got him down on first contact. He ran through so many arm tackles last night. That dude is also incredibly tough. Great runner.
Yeah, just a great game. Indiana national champ, 16-0. You know the last team that went 16-0? Did you see the graphic on this in college football history?
No, I don't.
Yale.
Never.
Yale.
Yeah, that's right. They did mention that.
Yale went 16-0. Yeah, it's and just looking back at it, and there'll be more time to do this, but I mean, just in a quick look back at it, think about what we just witnessed. I mean, the thing that blew my mind the most, Connor, was I saw a little bit of the pregame, and they made their picks. The game day crew made their picks. I think everybody but McAfee, and I didn't see what McAfee did, but I thought everybody but McAfee picked Miami. Everybody picked Miami.
That's crazy.
Saban picked Miami against his former disciple.
They hate the Big Ten, Ross.
It's amazing to me. It is amazing to me that nobody picked Indiana. Not a person.
I don't get it.
That's just nuts. I mean, if that is ESPN bias, and once again, that is a true question. If that is ESPN bias, it is absolute BS.
I think people just see the Hoosier logo in football and still have a negative reaction. I don't know.
You know what it is? Because I think I can get behind this point. It is just hard to fathom that a team that lost over 70% of their games before the last 2 seasons is going, in the history of their program, is going to win a national championship in a 2-year span.
Yeah, they went 3-9 years ago.
It does not compute.
No.
It does not compute. Look at the crowd on Curt Cignetti's first game of his career at Indiana. There was not a soul there. Not a soul. No. I bet you there were 2,000 fans in that stadium at most. There was not a soul. And guess what? Last night, in a game where you probably had to pay $1,000 a ticket at least, it was what, 3/4 full Indiana fans? It looked like that to me.
There was a lot of Indiana in that building. It was good.
Just nuts to see the flip. And I think that's why people, even the experts, are like, this just can't happen. I mean, it's a great story, but it just cannot be completed. And credit to Curt Cignetti, Fernando Mendoza, and this great group of, they call them ragtag players. It goes back to show you don't have to be the most talented. I think they had a total of 4 and 5-star guys on that Indiana team. I think Miami had 20 or 30.
More.
Probably 40. But it didn't matter. It was the belief, the team continuity that led Indiana to a national championship.
Yeah. And it proves that you don't have to have those 4 or 5 stars, that your guys can become more talented, and just because they weren't quite as talented as some guys in high school doesn't mean they can't develop
There you go.
better players in college.
Develop.
Because that's what I hate when people say, like, oh, like, I don't know, Alabama was more talented than Indiana. Then why didn't they beat them? Like, come on. I mean, talent is not the end all be all, obviously, but I don't know. I don't like when people act like the gap is so big just because of stars. Stars don't matter.
It's just 1 point. It's just 1 bullet point. There is team continuity. There is development. There is, as from a coach's perspective, being able to decide, if this guy's good enough or we can make the right changes. It's buying into a system. It's doing that system to its absolute elite ability. Indiana did a lot of the other things right besides maybe having the most talent on the field. And they have a national championship. And who would have thought? I saw this quote this morning from The Athletic. Who would have thought that that Indiana would have a national championship in football before the likes of Oregon, Wisconsin? I mean, you can go through some other schools that have never won a natty.
Oh, the O in Oregon stands for 0 rings.
There it go. But that's what it's just a crazy, crazy performance last night. Indiana national champions. It is hard to say. It's hard to say. Indiana national champions in football, but they are. And I think this train probably keeps it rolling. I don't know if they're going to win national championships going forward.
They'll compete, though.
But they're going to compete because they're getting all Sig's getting everybody he wants in the portal because they win. Google me. I win. And he did. The ultimate trash talk from a coach who ultimately backed it up.
He backed all of that up. It's
everything
incredible.
Up. He backed it all up. And there's not a guy who's probably got a bigger you-know-what grin than him after all that.
Yes.
Just nuts. It's still hard to fathom, but they get it.
I will say, before we're done with this, I think the guy I might be happiest for is one of their receivers, Omar Cooper Jr. He was there for the bad years of Indiana football. He was there for 3 and 9, and I think the season before, and he didn't transfer. He stuck it out, and he got to be the leading receiver in this game. Like,
he might have made the play behind maybe the Mendoza touchdown run. He made the play of the season.
Yeah.
Cooper Jr. with the catch in the back of the end zone at Penn State.
Yes, that was
the
massive.
ultimate Heisman moment for Fernando Mendoza, but that play last night was number 2, even though he had already won the Heisman. It was the post Heisman
right. But I think when you look back on this season, you're probably going to look at that touchdown run over anything.
Yes, it was nuts. It's great, and just the extension and all that was amazing. And one more thing before we move on here, but you mentioned it, the Big Ten, now 3 consecutive national champions. Well, Michigan, Ohio State, and Indiana?
Yep.
But that's what it is.
Let's keep it going next year. Come on.
Yeah, we'll see. It's crazy. And the ESPN and the SEC is really upset
hate
about it. They're mad.
Where's Bama?
They're mad about it. But there's that guy. Look at Sig. Look at that guy.
Just so deadpan for most of the game.
Oh my gosh, he is. What a great game overall. Great finish of the college football season. Once again, me being a humongous college football fan, I cannot wait until we get back into August to get these games going again. But yeah, it's what a story, Indiana, and I still need more time to process it, but it's absolutely crazy.
Yes.
Sorry for a long opening first segment there, talking about the college football national championship. I think a lot to get to in that. Hope everyone's having a good start to your Tuesday, January the 20th. It's a chilly start, around 20 degrees outside, but we're going to be making our way up to around 50 today. Keep in mind, after a couple of days of some nice 50-degree weather, we are going to get frigid cold Friday and Saturday. Temperature's not even going to give above 20.
And it might snow.
Might. Well, let's not hold our breath on that. Might snow further to the south of us. But nonetheless, cold temperatures coming this weekend. Be prepared. Get prepared. Coming up on today's program, Brad Shaw is going to join us from Fort Hays Tech Northwest men's basketball. A huge win on the road at Hutch on Saturday. They're 3-0 in their last 3 games. So we'll get to him. He'll be in studio with me coming up here in just a little bit. We will get to some college basketball tonight. KU, K-State, Colorado, all on the hardwood this evening. We'll have a Picks of the Weekend recap as well. So we got a full show for you. As always, the FB Bank text line is 785-899-2222 if you'd like to be part of the Morning Blitz here on this Tuesday program. All right, I've kind of been burying the lead a little bit because in local sports last night, I myself saw an instant classic. The Goodland Cowboys come back and defeat the Ulysses Tigers in triple overtime. According to reports, the first since 1981 inside the Max Jones Fieldhouse. It's been a long time.
Wow.
Triple overtime, 90-82 the final score. The Cowboys prevail. In a ball game where Goodland trailed through a majority of it, was down by 8 at one point in time, trailed by 9 at another point in time. But head coach Dawson Raymer has preached physicality, toughness, grit, his term, the heart of a champion. And boy, it all showed in this game as Ulysses just kept throwing punch after punch after punch. More on them and credit to them in just a moment. But the Cowboys responded down the stretch, a 12-5 run late in the fourth quarter, including a 3-ball with just a couple seconds left by Jesus Saucedo, who hadn't scored the entire game, goes and nails a 3-ball and gets the Cowboys tied at 63. They go to overtime. They play through a first overtime. It was a back-and-forth affair. They're in the second overtime. Goodland has a 4-point lead with 27 seconds left. Ulysses erases it thanks to a layup and then a steal and another layup. We go to 3 overtimes, and you saw in the third overtime, guys, the conditioning that the Goodland Cowboys did in the preseason paid off because Ulysses and Goodland too, but Goodland just stood a little bit longer. Guys were wearing down. You could just see.
Wow.
What a
3
performance.
overtimes.
Connor Collett, the superstar sophomore. Remember this name, people. I think we're going to be talking about him in the history books for Goodland Cowboy basketball. Connor Collett, 39 points last night. 39. This is, once again, I remind people, Connor Collett is a sophomore who did not play varsity basketball last year. Did not play it. And he's averaging over 20 per game as a true sophomore at the high school ranks. You just don't see this. In comparison, Connor, Goodland had a guy by the name of Brady Brumball last year. Really good player. He's had 40-point games. He's the all-time leading scorer in Goodland Cowboy basketball history. He wasn't this good as a sophomore. In fact, he wasn't even this close. No offense to Brady Brumball. Love him, but he wasn't as close. That record that Brady set is not going to stand for long, I don't think. I think Connor Collett's going to have it here. He is a scoring machine.
Hey, and you know who held him to, I think, single digits? Colby.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Rain on the parade.
No, he's awesome. I mean, he
was
play.
a machine. 4 of 5 from 3. Went to the foul line. I think he got there 22 times last night.
22 free throws.
Just gets to the line.
Wow.
And converted a majority of them early on, got tired late, and only split the last 3 pairs he had. Braylon Mole, not to be outdone, had 25 points, matching his career high. Those two guys were great. And Jesus Saucedo, who didn't score until the final 3 minutes of the fourth quarter, ended up with, I think, 13 points last night to help the Cowboys out. And then you have Ulysses on the other side. 6 guys with 11 or more points. Such a balanced effort led by Stryker Bergen with a double-double of 19 and 11. That Ulysses team, they deserve their flowers. Head coach Matt Cox and what he's done is so good. I hope Coach Cox hears this, but I've got so much respect, and I think so many people do, for the job that he has done with his program. You know, you look at his overall record as a coach, I think he's like 23-50 or something like that. It's been hard. This is his 5th season. He's got himself a heck of a team, and they're going to be possibly the cream of the GWAC for the next couple of years if they can just turn this corner, because they got a lot of underclassmen.
I was going to say, they're young.
They are really a good basketball team. Stryker Berglund, Luis Contreras, Macalakai Garcia, all these guys, they're really good. Ledesma and Parker Browning.
Julian Mraz.
Julian Mraz, of course, is good. He's a senior. But, I mean, everyone else I named beside Mraz is back next year. They are a really good basketball team. And they have now lost a total of 4 games in league play by a combined 16 points. That was their largest margin of defeat this season against a GWAC foe. They have lost all 3 of their league games going into last night's game by a combined 8 points. Like, they are there, and you could see it on their face and their body, how frustrated they were that they were not going to win that game. They were like, not again. We came so close, and we could not get it done. I mean, but tip of the cap to Coach Cox, his players, they were great last night. Goodland just prevailed in the end. A little bit of Max Jones Fieldhouse magic kind of helped propel them across the finish line first. But that was a great game. An instant classic. Cowboys come from behind and win it, behind just dominant performances from Braylon Mole and Connor Collett. It was so much fun. Fun game last night. Dawson Raymer, coach, he was fired up after the game, as he should be. They were really good last night. Were the Goodland Cowboys. And then not to be outdone, the girls game before we get to break. Goodland responding with another win, back-to-back wins for the first time since the topside tip-off tournament, which is kind of hard to believe. But the Cowgirls beating Ulysses last night, 53-33, really got it done inside. After all those, what was that?
Convincing.
Yeah, convincing. And the thing that stood out to me was, we saw in the Colby game how many bunnies that Goodland missed in that game. Both teams missed. But Goodland missed a lot of bunnies. They felt like they kind of got that corrected, at least for one game against Ulysses. They really did a good job. Libby Cure inside had a double-double, 10 points, 10 rebounds. Goodland had the size advantage over Ulysses easily and used that to their advantage. Credit to Ulysses. They made some shots down the stretch and did pretty well. But, yeah, it was a really, really good performance last night from the Goodland Cowboys and Cowgirls as they pick up a pair of wins there at home against Ulysses. It was certainly a lot of fun to witness those two games. Also want to give a quick shout-out in high school hoops to Hoxie girls. They beat Norton 56-40, and Oakley girls beat Plainville 76-33 in the first round of the Mid-Continent League tournament. Wheatland Grinnell, Golden Plains, and Shiloh girls all picking up wins yesterday, and Wheatland Grinnell boys and Shiloh boys earning up wins yesterday in non-tournament games. Today, it is the Mid-Continent League first round for the boys. Oakley's at Trigo. Hoxie takes on Hill City. And then you've got Northwest Kansas League basketball tournament today in Quinter. That's day number 1 of that tournament going on, and there'll be a few other games going on tonight as well that are non-tournament type games. So there you go. High school basketball and a classic in Goodland. Brad Shaw, he's in studio. He'll join us next. He can tell us his opinion of that classic last night that we witnessed. He was there. We'll take a break. Fort Hays Tech Northwest men's basketball coach Brad Shaw joins us next here on a Tuesday edition of the Morning Blitz.
From drive-through banking to mobile deposit, we make it easy to get things done on your schedule. Banking should fit your life, not the other way around. This is Jessica Von Lintel at F&B Bank. Banking made simple.
In a small town, your banker should know more than just your account number. They should know your name. At F&B Bank, we believe in real conversations, friendly faces, and decisions made right here at home. I'm Paige Sneathen, Vice President at F&B Bank, and we're proud to serve your family like our own. Member FDIC.
It's time for a check of the markets with the Anderson Trade Group on the Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio Network.
Good morning. This is Tom Saludo with the Anderson Trade Group with your overnight market reports on January the 20th. In the overnight session, March corn was down 1.5 at 423. May corn down 1 at 430. In July, down 1 at 436.5. March soybeans were down 1 at 1056. May soybeans down 1 at 1067. In July, unchanged at 1080. March Kansas City hard red winter wheat was down 1 at 525.5. May KC wheat down 2 at 536. In July, down 2 at 549. The Dow Jones is currently down 700 points at 48,837. S&P is down 106 points at 6,870. NASDAQ is down 458 points at 25,230. Gold is up 151 points at 4,746 an ounce. Silver is slightly up at 95 an ounce, and crude oil is slightly up at $59.75 a barrel. If you're out in the Colorado area and have any drain to market or risk management questions, please call John Heenke or John Stiles at 970-744-4484, or you can call the Overland Park office, myself, Tom Saludo, Jared Law, or Tyler Ghosh at 913-748-3000. Thank you.
The Anderson Trade Group, proud market partners with Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio. Find out more at andersongrain.com. The risk of loss through trading futures and or options is substantial, and each investor or trader must consider whether this is a suitable investment. Past performance, whether actual or indicated, is not indicative of future results. The Anderson Trade Group has no guarantee that the advice given will result in profitable trades.
If you're buying or selling cattle, make your first stop livestockmarket.com. Bred cows, heifers, pairs, bulls, and frozen genetics, even feeder calves. You'll find them all at livestockmarket.com. Livestock Market features private treaty sales, online auctions, and live production sale bidding. You'll also find horses, sheep, goats, and hay. Check out the free Livestock Market magazine wherever you pick up Tractor House and download the Livestock Market mobile app today.
Some corn and soybean fungicides out there talk a big game. But if you're paying premium prices for not-so-premium results, it's time to get your money's worth with Miravis Neo. With exclusive Adepidin technologies, health-boosting benefits that keep crops cleaner and greener, and proven bushel bumps that out-yield the other guys, it's easy to see which fungicide gets you the most bang for your buck. Ask your retailer for Miravis Neo, the premium fungicide that performs. Always read and follow label instructions.
Want to be part of the Morning Blitz?
Sometime I'll give you a piece of my mind, like right now.
Send your thoughts to the F&B Bank text line at 785-899-2222.
After we get done with Coach Shaw here in just a minute, we'll have a chance to win from Traditions Restaurant, their Valentine's Day dinner and dance. So Connor Shaw will have our word of the day for us to text in for our, I should say Connor Shaw, Connor Schuh. My goodness.
I was going to say, that didn't sound like my last name.
Coach, you got a brother you didn't know about, apparently.
Hey, Brother Connor.
What's going on, Brother Brad?
Brother Brad. I love it. Bradshaw joins us in studio here in Goodland as we talk a little Fort Hays Tech Northwest basketball. Before we get into that, boy, you were there last night to witness that high school game. You've probably seen a lot of high school basketball, whether you've been out recruiting or as a player yourself. How crazy was that game to witness there last night?
What a doozy. What a doozy. That was so back and forth. Each team made a run in different periods at the end, and no one could buy a free throw either. It was quite a battle and fun to see Goodland hit those shots, and Ulysses was living and dying by the three.
Isn't it amazing to see, as the game wore on, legs just kind of go, and you saw it at the foul line the most?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's just nuts. You got to have that conditioning to get those, to push through in that third overtime and make those free throws. And Goodland just made a few more than Ulysses did down the stretch to pull that thing out. Fort Hays Tech Northwest, the head coach Brad Shaw with us in studio on the Hurl Chevrolet GMC video stream. Tell you, the 2026 start wasn't great for Tech Tiger men's basketball, but the last couple of games have been, including a huge win on the road at Hutch. I don't know if that's the first win at Hutch in the program's history. If not, it's number 2.
Yep.
But it haven't been done very much to win on the road at Hutch. But you've picked up a road at Coffeyville as well. Those are some things that do not happen very easily in the Jayhawk, and your team pulled them both off. Can you talk about the road warrior mentality for your guys here in 2026?
It's funny. That was the exact quote, actually. Coach Robinson, my assistant coach, and I are our old boss. He texted us those 2 words because that's what we used to be at our old school in Florida as road warriors. And I tell you what, really physical games, especially at Coffeyville, they're just pushing us around. We haven't been screened so hard all season long, and we were battling out there. It was a lot of fun to see those guys in action, and we thrive for those moments on the road and in some of those hostile environments. So it was fun to get out with a W.
You kind of said it right there. You guys thrive in the hostile road environment. You guys have 8 road wins this year, and I know part of that is you guys just haven't had a chance to play at home very much. But what do you attribute to getting all those road W's?
Yeah, we like playing in front of just some rowdy people that are getting on us a little bit. We like to get them back with the juices, so it's fun. We love that, and we almost bond a little bit better when we're traveling, and it's fun to get out and take the show on the road.
What do you attribute to, not to start negative here, but just I think to help put into perspective the stretch here, you get back from the Christmas break and you drop your first 2 games, you drop a close one at Dodge, and then you come home and you really struggle against Cloud. I know they had a guy go off or 2 against you. What was the reasoning for maybe the struggle in your opinion there? And then what flipped over these last 3 games to get going in the right direction?
Definitely. We were a little out of gas at Dodge City, just couldn't finish the job there. It was very similar to the Coffeyville game, actually, the way that game unfolded. We were just able to hang on at Coffeyville. But Cloud, you give them credit. They're probably the hottest team in the league right now. They are just beating people up at this point. So, I think I would rather give the credit to Cloud because they're just steamrolling everyone right now. And so we just caught them at the wrong time. But honestly, we've picked it up, and we really turned on the heat with some press against Colby, and that got us going. And you can see in this league, it just takes one win to get you feeling good again and get you rolling. And it's fun to see it when we're all clicking and playing our tails off.
I'm curious, is there anything different, good or bad, about your team? You know, when you see them before they leave for Christmas break, they come back after the Christmas break, which is, pretty close to a month. They get back and then you're kind of to an extent starting over a little bit. Is there anything that's maybe flipped and changed from the first part of the season to now, good or bad, that you've noticed?
For sure. Initially, it's the conditioning piece and how much gym time those guys really got when they were at home and things like that. And that's part of the deal. And they got to understand that you got to get back into the groove when you get here. And so we just weren't quite clicking. We didn't string together enough practices as a whole unit. And then, but now we're back in the thick of things, and the guys are ready to roll. And for the most part, we're healthy, and that's a huge piece. Last year, we did not finish the season healthy, so we got to make sure next guy's ready to go in case someone goes down.
Fort Hays Tech Northwest men's basketball coach Brad Shaw joining us in studio here on this Tuesday morning on the Morning Blitz. It feels like every game, for the most part, it's a pretty balanced scoring attack for you guys. Anywhere from 10 to 15 points. You might have Q Dixon go off for a 20-pointer here or there, but can you talk a little bit more about the balance that your team has possessed, particularly offensively?
Yes, we mentioned that was one of the big strengths to our team early in the year. We were getting some wins on the road because it was a different guy leading us and scoring every single night, and those things were happening the last few ball games. Even Mattia, he led us in scoring over at Coffee, and so it's got to be somebody else every single night. That's how you get it done. The deep teams are able to get those W's.
I was looking at the box score for the last game against Hutch, and I'm pretty sure I'm reading this right. Marquentes Dixon played all 40 minutes. How gassed was he at the end of that game?
Yeah, he's great out there, and he'll tell me if he needs one. I mean, you can see it when he needs one. I think the environment at Hutch, I mean, for some of those guys, it was their first experience going there, and you're like, whoa, this place is the mecca of JUCO hoops, right? And some are starstruck seeing everything they got going on in that building. And Dixon, he's rolling, and we're really good when he's out there on the floor on both ends. We need him out there. And, if he's in foul trouble, he comes out. If he's gassed, he comes out. If he's good, he's good. So we enjoy letting him roll.
You talked about Mattia Odasevich, who this is his first year being here with you guys. He's had a nice stretch here over the last couple of games. He's had a double-double. He's had some leading you in scoring. You mentioned at Coffeyville. What has flipped for him? And for guys that are internationals, what is the process like for them to get used to playing basketball over here? Not only the change in scenery, but maybe the change in style of basketball a little bit.
Yeah. For Mattia, he came in with some great experience being in the NSIC, really high-level Division II basketball. So he's been in some big-time environments, and so nothing has really spooked him or anything like that. And he's just doing some great things on both ends of the floor. He's got great touch. He's got a great feel for the game. But defensively, you need to have a big that can body up the other team's big a little bit, and he's cleaning up the glass. So he's doing a lot of great things to help us win. And he just came in ready to play ball. That was a big piece for him on the international side. He had experience already.
And I've noticed in a couple of games, there might have been some turnovers here or there, but it seems like he's got a bit of a craftiness to his game, kind of as a passer. How important is that when you got a bigger guy who can swing the rock like that?
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. The guys know to be on their toes when he's got the ball. They know, and it's fun to watch. There's times he's keeping it and scoring it, and there's times he's making a pass next level, and it's fun to see it all come together.
Brad Shaw once again joining us here in studio. Fort Hays Tech Northwest men's basketball coach. The Tech Tigers winners of 3 straight, including road wins back-to-back. Coffeyville and Hutch. And that was all on one trip. Can you kind of talk about that road trip swing and what that's like from your guys' perspective? I think I saw you guys leave. It would have been Thursday morning. So can you kind of go through the process of that road trip and when you kind of left, what you had to do in between, and when you got back?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I go back to a year ago. That exact same trip was huge for our team. You could just feel it. That was a game Chase Harris missed, and we had guys step up at Coffee, and then we went and won at Hutch the very next game. And then we do it again. So we left on Wednesday, the day before, because that's a bit of a hike. And then we were fortunate to be able to practice over there. So we'll definitely have to return the favor to Coffeyville when they come here and bring out the red carpet for them. But hey, that's part of the deal. And get our practices in, rest a little bit at the hotels, and then be ready to roar for 40 minutes.
One thing I like to ask coaches, when you get the box score sheet, whether it's at halftime or the beginning or at the end of the game, where's the first place your eyes are going to?
Ooh, great question. I usually look at the rebounds. I think that's an eye popper. Always poke around the turnovers. Not going to necessarily tell the guys how the turnovers are going. Usually keep that to myself. But sometimes the other team as well, who's going for the other team a little bit, and the 3-pointers. So just a little bit of everything, right? A little bit of everything. And then for our guys too, right? What was it over at, I can't remember which game it was, but we had a couple guys that were 0 for 8, 0 for 10, and we were still playing well. And that's the biggest piece is we have guys that aren't scoring yet, but we're doing all right as a team. So let's just stick with it.
It's so funny that you said those three statistics because I know when I look at the box score, rebounds, turnovers, and made 3-pointers. That's what I look at every time. Who made the most threes? They did. Who won the rebounding battle? They did. Who had the most turnovers? We did. And those. Because I always look at like the box score and like, okay, what how does this game tell me the story based upon the box score, and those are the three stats I feel like I look at too. So it makes me feel more assured that I actually maybe know what I'm doing when a coach says that's what you need to look at.
Right.
So.
Looking for those eye poppers. That's right.
It's coming up here on tomorrow night. Pratt comes to town, and that'll bring a little bit more of a crowd because Colby will bring over their faithful, Colby native and future Western Illinois guard. Hunter Vaughn will be in town. What's the scout on Pratt for on Wednesday?
Yeah, Pratt, they're playing their best ball right now, actually. And similar to us a year ago, it just takes one in league play to get you going. And they won at Colby, and then they took Coffeyville to overtime, and then they beat Hutch. And so they're playing their best ball of the season right now, and they're having more guys step up, especially coming off the bench. And Vaughn's also picked it up these last few games too.
You're in the thick of it now with in the very meat of the middle of the second part of the season. What are the big keys to keeping this consistency and try and keep this winning roll? I mean, it's going to be impossible to win out the rest of the season, but to keep more wins than the losses.
Definitely, we're going to put a lot of emphasis on more guys stepping up and making more plays for us, especially here at home. We need more guys to make some things happen, and I'm sure we will. And I just want us to unleash the beast a little bit at home, right? We're able to come out swinging on the road a lot, and it's going to be nice. Hopefully we'll have some students back at home. That'll be a big piece, and just fly around here at the Max.
I wouldn't be doing my job. Oh, sorry, Connor, you got one more question there? My apologies.
Yeah, I got one real quick, but it seems like Tech Hoops is kind of on the up and up right now. What's your message to students that may not be paying attention as closely to kind of get them out there?
Yeah, if you want to see a fun show, come on out. I think we have a full team that's playing their tails off right now, and it's really fun to see us getting after it and bringing the heat a little bit, and we're fun to watch. We got a lot of guys that can make plays, and we're just flying around out there, and it's been fun to watch, and it's high-level basketball every night in the Jayhawk.
I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't leave you with a question about your alma mater, Nebraska Cornhuskers, and their 18-0 start. How you feeling about this season thus far?
It's great. It's weird to be like, man, they're almost locked into the dance,
in the middle of January, they're not in the bubble.
Right. It's a little weird.
It is really weird.
But it's fun to see them win.
Isn't it a beautiful basketball to watch when you get a chance to sit and watch them? The cutting and the passing. Gosh, it's beautiful basketball to watch. That is for sure. And it's so fascinating. Great stories from Coach Shaw about the Tim Miles era. You'll have to ask about that sometime, Connor. He's got some good stories about some things with Coach Tim Miles. So anyway, Brad Shaw, Fort Hays Tech Northwest men's basketball coach. Coach, best luck on Wednesday against Pratt, and we'll catch with you down the road.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
Once again, great stuff there from Coach Shaw. We'll take a break, come back. Picks of the weekend recap with Connor Schuh. That is next here on the Morning Blitz.
The black and gold are back, and you can catch the Goodland Cowboys and Cowgirls all season long on Goodland's Rocket 1025. Join Ross Volkmer for every thrilling play, big moment, and unforgettable highlight.
Open three. Good. Great ball movement from the Cowgirls there.
From the first pitch to the final horn, we've got you covered, no matter where you are. Goodland High School Athletics on Rocket 1025 are brought to you by our great local sponsors.
The Insurance Agency, Bateman Funeral Home, Edward Jones Financial Advisor Chris Yost, Schepner's Water Conditioning, and McClure's Plumbing and Heating.
Kick off 2026 ready for whatever winter brings. At Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware in Goodland and Colby, they've got the gear to start the new year strong. Get organized with rugged storage totes. And when the snow starts falling, if it does, power through it with Ego and Craftsman snowblowers. Or if it's just the light stuff, blow it away with Ego leaf blowers. And don't forget ice melt to keep your sidewalk safe all season long. New year, winter ready. Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware in Goodland and Colby. Helpful folks, trusted brands, and everything you need to get it done.
When you gotta go, but there's nowhere to go, who you gonna call? Topside Portables and Pumping, that's who. Weddings, job sites, farm parties, they've got clean, reliable porta potties that don't stink, literally. And if your septic tank smells worse than last year's chili cook-off, they'll pump it out fast. No mess, no fuss. Family owned, Heartland values, always ready. Call 785-728-8089. That's 728-8089. Topside Portables and Pumping. When duty calls, they answer.
Kick off the new year in professional grade style with Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Right now, drive home a GMC Arcadia with 1.9% APR for well-qualified buyers, or choose a 26 GMC CR1500 and get up to $7,000 in rebates with an eligible trade-in, or 0% APR for well-qualified buyers. Big capability, bold style, and new year savings you don't want to miss. Start the year strong at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Shop online at hurlchev.com.
Looking for insurance that actually puts you first? At the Insurance Agency in downtown Goodland, we're independent, which means we work for you. Whether it's auto, home, crop, or business, we shop top carriers to get you the best coverage at the best price. No pushy sales, just honest advice from people who live right here in your community. Give us a call today at 785-899-5011 or stop by 1020 Main in Goodland, and let's get you covered. The Insurance Agency. Insurance the way it should be.
From the locker room to your morning commute, it's all sports, all the time.
That's what I'm talking about. Sport!
On the Morning Blitz.
Thanks again to Coach Shaw for coming into the program. We got about 7 minutes left to go here in our show on this Tuesday. A chance to win from Traditions Restaurant. If you want to win these 2 tickets, we have these 2 wonderful tickets right here to their dinner and dance, prime rib dinner and dance. If you want to get these for Traditions Restaurant on Valentine's Day night, you need to text the word what, Connor Schuh?
Today we're gonna go with 70, as in I-70.
70? Okay. That's the weirdest words ever.
We're just trying to
text the word 70 or the number 70.
Yes, both.
It doesn't matter.
Both
Word 70 or the number 70, and you'll be entered in for a chance to win. We are going to draw a winner here at the end of the month, or the beginning of February, end of January, for these 2 tickets to get to go to the Valentine's Day dinner and dance with Traditions Restaurant with strings attached, the entertainment that night. So FB Bank text line at 785-899-2222. Text in the word 70, and you could be a winner. Thank you to a lot of people texting in already. All right, let's get to it, my friend. It is time for Picks of the Weekend. It is a recap edition looking back at last week's picks. I got a feeling it was a pretty good weekend. I got a feeling.
I would say so. I think both of us fared pretty well. So as it stands right now, after this week, you are 24-17. I am 28-13 at this point. So it's you've made up a little bit of ground here.
24-17, and you're 28-13.
Yes.
Those don't even add up to the same total, do they? Or do they? Oh, 20.
They do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. My bad.
Or a 4-point difference right there.
Okay. What do we got?
Alrighty. So you got me on this first one. Bills at Broncos. Broncos favored by 1.5. I had the Bills winning. They did not do that. I thought they were once they got to overtime, but you're the over, and it hit by, well, a lot. It hit by, I think, like 20. So, yeah, that one was pretty clear. And this one, this next one. I'm mad at myself for this one because I didn't even really believe in this pick. Niners at Seahawks. Seahawks were favored by 7. We both had the Niners covering, and the Seahawks just obliterated
I
them.
thought the Niners would keep it closer, even if they lost by 10, because that would have covered. It was 10.5 point spread. Even if they would have lost by 10, would have covered. That was just, I'm still floored that the Niners got smashed that bad.
Yeah, I mean, no Warner, no George Kittle, no Brandon Ayuk for the whole season. It was just a disaster class right there. Okay.
Oh, okay. I don't know if it's a disaster class. Or talking about
that game was.
The game. Okay. I thought you were talking about the season. Like,
no, it's still a success. But the next game, Texans at Patriots. Also wasn't too happy about my pick here. I started off just on an absolute cold streak. You were in a good place here,
was
though.
Hot, man. Hot.
You had the Pats covering. They did just that. They won by 12. I had the Texans covering. I thought that defense would do a number, but C.J. Stroud turned the ball over 5 times. And
yeah, it wasn't his fault. It wasn't the defense. You're right. The defense played good. It wasn't their fault. It was C.J. Stroud.
My guy, C.J. Stroud, that hurt to watch. As an Ohio State guy, that was bad. But you know what? It happens. Rams favored by 3.5 at the Bears. I had the Bears covering. They did that just by a hair. It was a 3-point game, so they covered. And you had the Bears winning. They did not, unfortunately. I thought they were after that fadeaway jumper.
Fadeaway 14-yard touchdown pass from the 40.
Yes, that was crazy. And the Natty, we both had Miami covering. They did. They covered just by 2.5. So, hey, we'll take that. Wizards at Nuggets.
You know what? We know our football on this show. We know our football.
For the most part. You got me in football here. I'll give you that. Okay. Wizards at Nuggets. We both had the Nuggets winning. I think they won by 20. Pretty convincing W for the Denver Nuggets, still number 2 in the West. Baylor at Kansas. Men's hoops. Kansas was favored by 7.5, and they won by about 20. I had Kansas covering. You had Kansas winning. There you go. Colorado State at Boise State, and Boise State also, I think, thrashed the Colorado State Rams. Yes, the Rams. I don't know why. That blanked on that for a second, but I had Boise covering. You had Boise winning. Kansas State at Oklahoma State. The nightmare continues for the Wildcats, and we both had Oklahoma State winning, which, I mean, K-State gave them a run for their money. We almost got this wrong, but
they had it won and they blew it. They had it won and they blew it. Oh my
hey, you know
God.
who won, though? We won.
We did. We win.
We win this one, and another winner for both of us. West Virginia over Colorado. We both picked WVU, the Mountaineers, to get the win in Morgantown. UCLA at Ohio State, the Buckeyes, a win in that one against UCLA. Probably their best Big Ten win at this point.
Does Ohio State have more than one floor? I think they do.
What's that?
More than one basketball floor, Ohio State?
We used to play in St. John's, but, well, we used to play a couple of games
I'm just
in
talking
St.
the
John's.
floor. I know they play in Value City, but the floor, did they change it up? Because I swear when basketball, they had a big block O, and when they played UCLA, they had the Buckeyes script logo across the center.
Yeah, we changed it because we were wearing the 90s jerseys. So
maybe they
switched up to
should
that game.
invest that money in the roster. That would maybe help out a little bit.
Or we should just wear the Jim Jackson era jerseys every game. I like that.
The throwbacks are sweet. The big block Ohio State. Yeah, that's awesome.
I love those.
They're sweet. They're sweet.
Miami of Ohio remains undefeated and beats Buffalo. They are one of 3 undefeated teams left. We both got that one right. They got Buffalo. And another one of them, Nebraska on the road at Northwestern. They won. We both picked that. And then
Steve, we won. Woo!
The Nashville Predators at the Colorado Avalanche. I had the Avs covering. You had the Avs winning. Nashville won by, I think, 4.
Wow.
So, yeah, we did not get that one. We don't know our hockey, I don't think. So, there's your picks.
So what was the final record of the week? Do you have the weekly record of what it was?
Yes. You were 11-3. I was 10-4.
Wow, that is a great weekend. If we went to Vegas on that, we are coming back with some jingle in our pocket.
Yes, we are. But we gamble fake dollars and fake everything.
We gamble Skittles on this show. Skittles and M&Ms and all kinds of delicious treats.
Yes.
There you go. Picks of the weekend. Great weekend of picks, by the way. We knew what we were talking about that week. There have been weeks we don't, but that week we knew what we were talking about. That is
absolutely.
Sure. To the walk-off.
And back lifts his ball high and deep to right. How about a walk-off three? Thomas to the 10. Difference going on in New England. They win it on the first play of overtime. Mahomes swings it. It's there. Hardman. Jackpot. Kansas City.
College basketball tonight. 2 regional teams squaring off. Kansas on the road at Colorado. It's a late tip. Grab your Red Bull. 9 o'clock Central Time tip on Flyover Country 97.9 or watch on ESPN. I think this could be a great game. Colorado at home, solid team. Kansas, kind of up and down, although playing very good. Bill Self, by the way, didn't make the trip initially. He's been under the weather. I think he'll be there probably tonight. They'll fly him in late. But big game tonight. Of course, the Jayhawks led by Darren Peterson, who was named the Big 12 Newcomer of the Week, and deservedly so. He shot 84% against Baylor. 84%.
That's crazy. On a lot of jumpers, too. I mean, he's crazy.
He is silky smooth at everything he does. He makes it look so easy, and it's not that easy. And also tonight, K-State hosting Utah. I'm calling it now, folks. First win for the Wildcats.
Oh, Utah's horrible.
Yep. Not going out on too big of a limb there. That's on 100 Point Through the Ride. It's an 8 Central Time tip there for K-State hosting Utah. You can watch that game, K-State, on CBS Sports Network. You get Colorado and Kansas on ESPN tonight for that game. So there you go. Little college basketball action here this evening, as well as some other great basketball games. Best luck to all the area basketball athletes with the Northwest Kansas League tournament getting going today in Quinter. Mid-Con League basketball tournament resuming, and of course other teams in action as well with Tuesday night games. So for Connor Schuh, I'm Ross Volkmer. We're back again tomorrow on a Wednesday. Hope you'll join us. This has been The Blitz. See you then.